Boom, boom, boom. And we are on.
Yo, yo.
Before we start, I would like to congratulate a dear friend of the podcast and one of the main men of M16, Declan Moody.
Yep.
He had one of the biggest achievements in his life yesterday, would you say?
Yep.
You can explain it a lot better than me. You have a lot more right to talk about it than me as you practice the sport.
I practice the sport.
So
yes.
I'll take you over to Tom so he can tell you exactly what's going on.
Well, so my coach, people who, friend of podcasts, listeners of podcasts will know, anyone tuning in that, you know, we talk fighting, we talk grappling, we talk local scene. My coach, Declan Moody, went over to Singapore and did the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, ADCC. It's the most prestigious no-gi grappling competition in the world. It's the Olympics of submission grappling. It's the
biggest.
The best show, and the production value has gone up within the last 5 years especially. They do it, it's bi-yearly, so it's every 2 years. So unlike the Olympics, but then you say we're between the Olympics and then we have the Commonwealth Games, you'd say you could go every 2 years, right? For people for Australia, New Zealand, that area. Declan had the luck, you may say, that he's a dual citizen. And so he could do both Euro trials, which he did before, and he went to B team and then did Euro trials, and I think he lost in the final.
And what was this, Asian and Oceania?
And this was Asia Oceania.
Yeah. And he didn't just get the gold medal.
He ran through the competition.
He put on a fucking clinic.
Yeah.
Those first three fights.
Mate, the first three, yeah. The first two, and then he had Hodgkinson, who's another really good Aussie grappler who's been training out of B team as well. And they've trained a lot. They've done a lot of rounds. So I would have thought that Moody going into that. I mean, Hodgkins beat him, I think, in one of the last comps. But, you know, they've done a shit ton of rounds together at this point as well. So they would know going into that, beat him. So that was, he got 3 submissions, yeah?
3 subs and decision.
Yeah, and the decision in the final. His first 2, it was like 2 matches in 2 minutes because it was like 50 seconds and a minute 10.
And do you know what the wildest thing is? He is going to possibly roll fucking Gordon Ryan.
Well,
isn't he?
Is Gordon doing under 90, or is he doing 99, or is he doing heavyweight?
Isn't he doing 2 divisions?
Is he trying to do 2 divisions and then a super fight?
I was under the impression that he would be in the same sort of bracket as Gordon Ryan.
I thought that was getting thrown around.
But imagine if he does.
Oh man, I put a post on Instagram and it was just saying, and it's the common parlance around the Adelaide traps and the Australian scenes. It's like, show. I heard, man. As soon as you said, it's like, if he wins, going to Vegas, baby.
I don't even care if I only go for like 2 days. Wait up, my camera froze. Oh, my camera has frozen. I will just pause that quickly.
Pausing.
Sorry about that. I don't know how long that was frozen for. We were just talking off camera.
That's right. We caught it.
It does not matter how many days I go to Vegas. I'm definitely going to go to Vegas because that group of boys, whenever there's a trip, we have a solid foundation of lads now.
Look, as soon as you said that, mate, my brother, and when I walked into the office this morning, goes, so, are we going to try and go to Vegas?
Are you going to go?
I have to run that. There's some questions I have to ask. But I would love to, but then it'd have to be 2 holidays because I have to do one with the missus. If I said Vegas, she wouldn't come, obviously.
Oh my god!
So she'd be like, "I'll leave that to you," but we need a holiday then. So
it's wild to think that it's just such. And do you know what the shame is? It won't get any. Just like my episode last week with Troy Brosnan, we were talking about how motocross and downhill mountain biking doesn't get any attention.
Certain sports don't get the national recognition because they're not. They're newer sports, right? It's not the crickets. It's not the AFLs. It's not the established sports.
But they're around the world now. They're huge.
But you're talking world class, caliber, top of the food chain, and that doesn't get recognised because it's not one of the. We'll get pushed women's AFL and the sports that we already play. It's like, no, we'll now just show more of the women doing it instead of going, well, branching out. And I guess it's just a niche, right?
It's just a niche.
It's a niche, but man, he's at top of the food chain.
Yeah,
like
he
he's
deserves
made it.
some sort of fucking. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, his seminars just went up.
That's what. Okay, so
that's the main thing.
I had to explain this to my stepdad earlier. Like running through it, I was just like, so for you to make money in jiu-jitsu,
there's tiers.
There's a path to it, and it's almost like if you can get to the big show. And then you can have a few good performances. Lockie Giles did it here. Craig Jones did it.
Craig Jones has done it the best out of anyone in jiu-jitsu history.
And Craig Jones built it up into so much more than actually. But he made it work for him so much. Look, he made it essentially one of the best, right? For him to be able to roll over what he did in jiu-jitsu and then make his name and then do B team and his social media.
Best marketing in jiu-jitsu history.
Best marketing in jiu-jitsu. Oh, absolutely.
And one of the most talented jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. He just also happens to be fucking hilarious. And the self-deprecation and the larrikin part of all that. But to go in like one of the actual best grapplers in the world. And by chance, his arch nemesis is legitimately the best.
The best. Yeah.
Like, it lined up so perfectly for him.
Such different personalities as well.
Gordon's just a fucking dweeb. We were talking about this Gordon with Declan, and I made a clip of, I can't remember what it was. I think it was me talking about how much Craig razzes up Gordon, and it's hilarious.
It's easy for him.
And I was saying how Gordon comes off as a bit of a wanker. And this bloke, if you go suss it out on my YouTube comments, this guy's like, who the fuck are you losers to talk about Gordon? And I was like, well, fair enough with me, but the person opposite me, he kind of like can fucking comment on it a little bit because he's in that world now.
Yeah.
He's at that level as well.
He's at that level. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what makes.
I swear to God, I swear on everything I love, if Gordon and Declan are in the same bracket, Gordon does do that, and if Declan beats him, I will get Declan Moody's fucking initials tattooed under my ear.
Yeah, well, under your ear is cool. That's a cool spot. Yeah,
I was gonna go
DM, mate, could be for going DMs. Declan
Yeah.
Moody, and it's good, little subtle one under the ear. Yeah, that's cool. They can do that. I'm pretty sure Jonesy convince some bloke in Thailand to get his name in a love heart on his wrist or some shit?
That does not surprise me.
I've seen it. I'm pretty sure he shared a video.
If the stars do align and I do end up going to Vegas, Adam Jones will have he will have a 6 meter perimeter around me that he's not allowed to enter.
Dude, see, that's why going to Vegas with you boys would just be, I don't know.
I said it.
It might be to my detriment, you may say, but God, it'd be so much fun.
I was talking to fucking someone about it, and I was like, do you know what the scary thing is? They have like guns and stuff in America. One of us, actually, there is a possibility someone will get shot.
Stay on the strip, all right? As long as you stay on the strip, you might talk shit to some people. There's bouncers around. Now you go a little further out into the desert, into some of those more weirder places. They might just take you out to the outback and bury you.
I was thinking it would also be a good opportunity to try and get some podcasts in while I was over there too. So it wouldn't be like, obviously it would be loose during ADCC and that, but I was thinking more of like a business holiday almost. Not a business, but it would be cool to link up.
Is that because you're just looking at you want to claim it on tax or something? Oh, you called me out. Oh man, it's a business expense, all those flights. But yeah, you say that, mate. But in Vegas, we did a week in Vegas before I lived in Canada.
I was going to say, you've been to Vegas.
Yeah, I went to Vegas for a week. Luckily, I went with my sister though.
Is it
smarter in terms of like my health?
Yeah. Is it that good though? Like,
if you live that life on the strip for a week. Yeah. Like what we did, and we moved out and we went out into the desert and did a bit of this, and we didn't just gamble strippers, what you do with all the lads. Just drink all the time, because that's Vegas on the strip. You just do it all day, every day, and it's normal. You're sitting around having a cocktail at 8 a.m.
I'm surprisingly, though, not into casino culture, and I'm a massive gambler.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, but you like sports bet gambling.
I love sports gambling, and I like...
You're like table games.
No, I like poker, but poker's like slow to make money. You're not going to go to a casino to play poker.
My sister does. She likes to do it for that. It's the slow.
If you have like 4-5 spare hours, yeah. But if you're at a casino drunk, exactly. You want to be.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
I accidentally lost like fucking 600 or I lost a ridiculous amount of money when we went to Perth because I didn't realize their pokies went up to like $250 hits.
Oh, they had $250 slats. What were you in the VIP section?
No.
Oh wow.
You can just lose like $1,000 in 4 spins there.
You can do that in the high rollers. Yeah.
Really?
I know people that play in the high rollers.
You can get to those machines.
You can get to those. I've seen people that do $50 and up to $200 spins.
In Adelaide Casino.
You got to go to the high
That's
rollers.
weird because in Sydney, you can go to an RSL and you can play like $100 spins.
Well, how many years ago was it where we got notes that they accepted?
Oh, they're doing
we held out for the longest time. They got card. So much more dangerous. Oh, that is so dangerous.
Oh, that's bad,
look, I would. The amount of money I think I would be going to Vegas for if you go for a week, God, it would that would be an expensive trip.
Sorry,
you'd have to put some money aside.
Continue that. I'm just fixing my camera again.
Making sure cameras are all working.
Yeah, I don't know what the dealio is with it. But,
well, this is why cameras are about to get changed, people. Sav has forked out. There's going to be some what would you say, higher definition, baby. You want to see more of those splendid glasses that Sav's wearing, mate. The bright lights of success has gotten to Sav, much like it would with Declan. Declan will be wearing those for the next 3 months. He's just going to be walking around with those kind of sunnies around the Texas training room. You couldn't, right? You go straight back into training and Nicky Rod's beating the shit out of you.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine how. I was saying that to Milazzo, I'm pretty sure. I was saying to Milazzo, Declan, the scary thing now is Declan's going to go back to B team and train like he's never trained before. He's going to get so much better than he is.
So he's going to be in that room for months on end. He's essentially gone on the extended
trip
to train
a
B team.
He is going to be the nail.
But look at all the people in that room that are at ADCC. You got Joseph Chen. You got why did I blank on his name? He won the 77 kilo at the Asia Oceania Kento. Or is it Kenta?
Yeah,
Kenta? I think Kenta.
I seen the video Craig put up of all three of them.
He's like one of the big guys, training constantly at the B team as well, and Hodgkinson being there and him, got close. Being in the same bracket, it's always got to be a bit of a go. But that room, I mean, look at it:
killers.
Craig, Nicky Ryan, Nicky Rod, Joseph Chen, Kenta.
I didn't see actually. Because I think Chen was on at the start of the day and I didn't tune in till closer to when Declan was on. Mm-hmm. Did Chen just fucking run through everyone as expected?
What? Chen didn't have to compete.
Oh, he won. He's won his gold he won his gold at the North America.
I think it was. Yeah.
North America.
Yeah,
trials.
he won. Yeah, because it was the North America, which are the harder ones.
Yeah, sorry.
The North American's the hardest.
Yeah.
The Europeans is the second, and then Asia Oceania is quote unquote the easier route to it. But obviously, it goes by passport where you live, supposed to be. So the other one I'll talk about, like Bob DeFries, he's big over here. He had a tough run because he was in Isaac's bracket, and Isaac ended up winning the 88.
Did Jeremy Skinner end up getting a silver as well?
Did he get silver or bronze?
Either or, he placed.
He placed, I think.
I'm fairly sure it was silver, but I'm not sure.
Actually, maybe not, because why did I think he got 2 subs and then got knocked out in the third, which might be have been to get to the fight for the gold, or
I feel like he placed.
Yeah, or he got 2. I'm pretty sure he got 2 heel hooks in his first 2 matches, and then he lost the third, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of. Obviously there was a lot of Aussies there because it was but
Asia Oceania. But that's what I'm saying. So Bob, he got the what was it, Azerbaijan wrestling team? Like he had like 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them. He's just, and he won. Like he got to the final. But
are they classed as Asia?
Yeah. Is
Dagestan?
I think so.
Really?
Well, the Stan countries.
Yeah, the Stans
Azerbaijan,
they border
Kazakhstan,
on Mongolia.
Yeah, it's in Mongolia, bordering China, going up the outer perimeters of Russia.
Insanity. That is just good. But the meaning of that story was congratulations to
Declan Moody. Yeah. We went through all that. It was the big Asia Trials. That's where the Aussies go. But B team did really well, and our boy our boy Dex, this is what you work for, and he's made it, and he's been committed to it for a long ass time. I mean, what's he been a black belt for 5 years? He's 27 years old.
Still young.
He's still young.
For that division,
mate.
He's fucking so young.
Yeah.
He's that big at that age. That's so rare.
And the fact that he's gotten so good and just built it up, and then knowing that he's made all the effort possible he's lived the jiu-jitsu life, and then he's gone to get all the rounds in by going to B team and actually putting himself in the ringer. Like I said, he's the best in Australia. He's been the best in Australia for a little while.
Declan
Moody, yeah. And then it's all right. You gotta go put yourself in the big pond.
You gotta be a fucking nail.
And then go out there and that's what he did. And then look at it, proofs in the pudding. Comes back, beats the shit out of all of us for a little while. Goes over to the Asia Trials, runs through them. Goes, yeah, all right. I'm gonna go train the next 8 to 10 months out in America at the best, and give myself the best opportunity to get the biggest success. Like you said, you just have to have a good performance. You don't even have to, because what was it? Isaac lost in the first round against Wagner Hosha, and it was the match of the comp.
So before what we were saying about seminars, essentially, what I meant by that was, there's obviously levels to jiu-jitsu. Like Declan had amazing seminars previously, but now he's gone up to that next layer of the pyramid, because now he's an ADCC qualifying gold medalist.
If you're interested, like when you go around the world, and if you're at a jiu-jitsu gym, if you've made your name by having successful performances at the highest level, people know you. And then you're known in the circle. So you can travel, and you pay more because you can go international trips, you can charge more for your seminars, you can pay for flights and accommodation. You can make it on that until you do really well, or if you win an ADCC, you do an instructional for BJJ fanatics, or you do that well enough, or you do a few of those, and then you be like Lachlan Giles and you roll it, and I'll just do it myself, and now you've got submeta. Yeah. And then it's like, if you want online content for courses with, just experts giving you expert advice, tutelage, and you pay so minimal for it. It's the content's out there, and when you make your name, that's how you do it. You make your name, you make your brand.
And with Declan as well, he's such a big body and he's so young. Don't be surprised if you get in the heavier weights of the UFC and like big MMA promotions, them starting to call people like Declan in, because it for certain training camps with certain individuals. Like, there's not that many big bodies around that athletic and that fucking young.
No, that's right. Well, that's what's good with Craig. The fact that he got the hook in with Volkanovski, and then between Volkanovski and then City Kickboxing, and then so with Adesanya and everyone like that, because he's one of the best in the world. And so you seek him out, and then it's like, train with one. Yeah, he's good, and he actually, because he's Craig's got such a mind for it.
Yeah.
He likes the idea of wall wrestling, and because he got into it through MMA, much like all of us down here. We didn't get in through straight jiu-jitsu. We're not Brazilian. We didn't get in for all of that. It was watching it usually in fights and being like, oh, that's effective.
Oh, there's some good fights coming up, saying that.
So in saying that, the next pay-per-view is an absolute
The next fight
banger.
night's fucking wild
So is it the next one? And then there's a shit one. That's the next one. That's the one that's a banger. Because then there's Chris Gutierrez versus Song Yadong is the main event of the next fight night.
And the 17th is...
17th of December is Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. And Alexa Pantoja versus...
Figueiredo?
Versus Royval.
Royval, sorry.
Figueiredo is on the fight night, stepping
next
up the bantamweight finally, and he's fighting...
Week.
Who's he fighting? Someone like a...
decent
name.
No,
he's the champ. It's a 135 big name, like a good name. It's like, we're good. They should. I mean, obviously Figueiredo coming from.
Why did I forget this card?
Yeah, that's it. Bring up the card. We'll be able to. But there was bangers on that one because. But then, obviously, the
main
event...
What are we looking at? UFC 2? No,
the fight night. The fight night, Dariush versus Sarukian.
All right, it's coming up now.
So, but Dariush Sarukian, it's just whether or not...
Oh, Clay Guida's fighting.
Yeah, Clay Guida's still on there, mate. Mate, he's still...
He's gonna be doing UFC 300. They have to give him that as his retirement fight.
There's only so many fights they can do. They've already got Jim Miller. You can't give Jim Miller versus Clay Guida.
How many weight classes is that about?
They're the same.
That's the fight.
They're not. You can't.
What about Jim Miller? Wait. What weight's Miller?
155. Lightweight.
What weight's Felder coming back to?
He'd be 170. He was 170, or is he going to 155 because he's shredded doing triathlons?
Miller goes up to 170. Felder. Because Felder is in the pool. He's coming back.
Yeah. But you reckon he'll throw him in at 300?
Felder doesn't have a run in him. He just wants one fight. I don't think he had a proper retirement, really, did he?
No, that was his thing, wasn't it, after the
Speaking of retirement, shout out to fucking Myles Simpson, the greatest to ever do it on his retirement.
Oh, yeah. Bloody hell, yeah. It's no wonder. It's been a bit around here. It jumped into Myles.
M16 and has had a busy week.
Oh, he rolled straight into having his one and only pro boxing fight, winning that. That was his retirement fight. He's done everything in combat sports and won everything now in combat sports.
The best to ever do it.
Best man.
Best to ever do it in South Australia.
Best man in South Australia,
Simpson.
M16 Simpson.
And now he's going to continue to roll people into fucking pretzels next year.
He's already like, April's. I don't even know which trials he was talking about. He was like, trials are in April. Who's doing it? Eh? He's now G'd up to get back into grappling.
He hasn't been on the mats for
He hasn't been on the mats because he's been concentrating on boxing. So he dedicated himself hard to get the best at boxing.
All right.
Here we go. We got the fight night for we got
Dariush and Sarukian.
Yep.
Jalen Turner and Bobby Green.
Yes, because Jalen Turner is the late replacement because Dan Hooker broke his arm.
I hope Jalen knocks Green to the fucking.
You don't like Green.
No, he talks too much shit, but he's not good at it. You know what I'm saying? He's like a Paddy Pimblett to me.
Oh, Matt, Paddy Pimblett has had a hard fall, right? Oh, mate, Paddy.
Yeah, but they put him up against fucking Tony too. No one wants to see Tony lose. And Tony's training with Dover Goggins.
Oh, I know. That's great. You want the.
Oh, what a dream team.
Oh, that's.
Bro, Rob Font. He's fighting Font. Figueiredo's fighting Rob
I knew it was a big one. Yeah,
That's
I knew it was
a good fight.
Because I think Font's like 5. He's 5 or 6 in bantamweight. I know, mate. They didn't give him a light one. Didn't give him an easy entry into bantamweight.
Didn't Font absolutely melt that? He was that sick boxer. What was that boxer's name?
Adrian Yanez.
He melted the fuck out of him in the first round. Yeah,
second. He knocked him out in the second.
And didn't Yanez just get chopped out?
No.
In his last fight?
No, Yanez just had a fight and
he got chopped out.
Did he get leg kicked?
Yes,
he did.
Yeah.
Who against? And he did. He absolutely beat the shit out of that leg.
But that was
it completely stopped. He essentially dropped him multiple times, and then it was just like, he's actually going to.
Because I had money on Yanez.
Who's the major leg kicker in the 135?
I'm looking up.
It wasn't the Brazilian guy who just leg kicks everyone.
Sherdog. The greatest of all time.
He did. He came back with that sweet...
Jonathan Martinez?
There you go.
Was it?
Yeah. That's who it was because he trains with Royval. He's out of that Arizona camp. That Arizona shit. They got some big guys
This
up there.
low key could have been a fucking pay-per-view.
We all said that between me and my brother. All of a sudden, when we saw the main event, I was like, that's a banger for the hardcore fans.
I would have paid for it.
Mate, the hardcore fans, you could... That's a great...
Sean Brady and Kevin Gastelum.
That's the... Sean Brady... Who would then... There's a late replacement. Anthony Smith versus, who we say, Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah.
That's on there as well. And everyone's hope... I'm like, God, we both love Khalil Roundtree. It's like,
no. Isn't that on 296?
Is that on 296?
Yeah,
because it was the Russian cat that pulled out, right?
I believe it's 296, which is also a sick card.
Yeah,
probably one of the cards of the year.
I
might just be saying that because I don't remember like the last card where I was like, actually the last one was really good top to bottom.
The last one?
What fight was it? It was a real trash pay-per-view on paper. The one that was supposed to be Jones and Miocic.
That's right. I lost. Because that was Aspinall.
Yeah.
Aspinal knocked out Pavlovich.
Every single main event
was a stoppage. Didn't the main card go for like 28 minutes or some shit? That's right.
Yeah. Poor production team had some work to do.
That's right, because that was Pereira and Prohoshka.
I still
got him with the bloody hook.
People who think that Jamal Hill's going to fucking beat.
People think there's legit some of the feed that comes up for the MMA content is like, hear me out.
No.
Jamal Hill has a chance to stand with Pereira. And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know.
People are saying that because of how much he pieced up Teixeira. You cannot even fucking compare them as fighters.
Not in stand-up. Like, Pereira's stand-up compared to
kill him.
Teixeira is that's why he was brought in. It was like Glover was teaching grappling to Pereira, and Pereira was teaching all the striking to Glover.
And have a look how good Glover's longevity was.
His longevity. Look how good he had it in his later career, but he then was relying heavily on his grappling because his striking defense would be so good because he's training with fucking Pereira.
It's insane.
So look at how it worked. There was a great dual connection. And then look at Strickland. And then Strickland all of a sudden is the maverick that travels around everywhere.
I'm telling you now, no one's fucking beating Pereira in that division.
At light heavyweight?
No. There is some people that can fucking handle him. But I'm telling you.
Jan Blachowicz is all upset.
What's Homeboy's name? The one that I was just talking about? Fuck. His name's fucking that forgettable to me.
Which one is it?
The bloke who's going to be fighting. The guy who had fucking relinquished his belt.
Jamal Hill.
Jamal Hill. Oh my God.
Because he's so in and out for you.
He's so fucking in and out.
He's just so in and out. He's like, he won the title.
Honestly, he is probably one of the funniest Instagram accounts I follow, and I have nothing against him. But
he does have a good social media.
He does have a great social media, but if he beats Pereira, I will be very surprised.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
I will be very, very surprised.
Then again, would be an Izzy Strickland. But it won't. The odds won't be that far. They'll.
Hasn't Strickland's? Isn't his arc just beautiful?
It's so funny because.
Do you see what he's coming out with Ian Garry?
Oh my God! Oh, I was gonna get to the Ian Garry. Oh my God, the Ian Garry, juicy, just absolute flames coming out of MMA Twitter, MMA X. Between Ian Garry and our favourite female bloody social media presence, Helen Yee, and who's Nina. And Nina, they're going at each other. Why are they going at each other?
Who's going at each other?
Nina and
Helen Yee.
And Helen Yee. They've been going back and forth because the exes have been getting in each other's ears and they're trying to battle them out. And then they're all...
Wait, what's happening?
There's a bunch of just shit getting posted back and forth. They're trying to make it all friendly, but there's it's almost like the fans are trying to cause a beef. You know what they do? This is what shit talking and shit posting on fucking Twitter will do. They go back and forth with each other.
Nina and Helen Yee are beefing.
Right at the moment, like this is hot off the press. They're just working it through. Do
you know what
now.
they're doing? They're fighting over Sean. They both want to fuck
Sean's gotten involved. He's like because
he likes both of them, but he's like Nina's his girl. Nina's his girl, obviously, because she's.
But Helen's been doing all this swimming, and so the whole thing is posting her bikini bod, and then she's getting body shamed over here by these people going, "Oh, if you want to be like that," and then it's like they want to drag Nina into it. She's like, I don't want to borrow that, and then they try and play it off, and it's all, and then Sean finally just jumps in, and just goes, "I said I'd sponsor the pool for you guys to get together." Sean gave it his, he's trying to hash it all out, keep everyone calm. Bro, mate, there's always so much heat. Everyone's trying to cause heat. That's what MMA Twitter is. That's what MMA X is.
It's so funny, but all right, who else do we got? But anyway, on that note, Jamal Hill's not going to fucking beat
Jamal
Pereira.
Hill does not think Pereira is. Yeah, there's going to be
all right, then we got Pantoja and Royval. I don't know enough about. I don't pay enough attention to the flyweight division. I know Pantoja's excellent, and I know Royval actually has won me a shit ton of money in the past.
Pantoja is a wizard on the ground. Royval is very good on the ground, but if he wouldn't want to dabble, he would be on like get the fuck up.
Those
if you
flyweights.
Hit the ground. They move so quick.
Bro, their scrambles.
Their transitions are fucking nuts.
It's so fun to watch.
Oh, they're great. These guys, that's why they put this match together, mate. Royval versus Pantoja. When they start scrambling, Royval's striking is solid. Pantoja throws with power, technically not as proficient, doesn't have as many weapons on the feet. It would be Royval with the advantage on the feet, not a giant, like not massive. Pantoja would have the power. He throws with more power, but he's just a little less sharp and he doesn't have the variety of weapons that Royval has on the feet. But the ace card for him will be Pantoja scramble to get to the ground, get you back, strangle you, you're fucking done.
Did Pantoja handily beat Figueiredo? Or was it close? Was Figueiredo
he beat Moreno. He beat Moreno decision.
Didn't he fight?
He didn't fight. No, he hasn't fought Figueiredo.
It was a lot. Figueiredo
He had like 4 matches.
Yeah, with Moreno, and that was his.
Yeah, the Moreno was the last one where he goes, "I'm not going to do flyweight."
Now I remember the fight. All right, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus
Wonder Boy.
Thompson. Wonder Boy and fucking Shavkat.
And mate,
that's a bad fight for Wonder Boy.
That's a bad fight for Wonder Boy. That's so rude. But because
Wonder Boy still got it though.
His last opponent pulled out because he missed weight, or Wonder Boy didn't accept the fight when he missed weight. Yeah. He goes, "I'm not fighting then."
Fair.
Ooh, whatever it was, yeah, right. So he missed weight and he goes, "No, I'm not fighting then." So they did the quick turnaround. They gave him fucking Shavkat Rakhmonov.
That's why you don't say no to
That's
Dana.
why you don't say no.
That'll fucking teach you.
Jesus.
It doesn't matter that you're almost 40 years old.
Come on. They're giving him the Hamza Nate Diaz treatment, man. It's like,
do you know what, though? That's not a fucking gimme fight for Shavkat, I don't feel.
No, he's just got to get... I don't think he just wants to play the striking game with him.
No, he wants to get him down, beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, he wants to get a hold of him. It's just...
Wonder Boy's still...
Yeah, but it's Shavkat, man. I think he'll just find a way.
Yeah, but he's like the next... He's the
next thing. And now that there's no Hamzat's gone up to 185. Shavkat can take 170 and Hamzat takes 185.
That's a good fight in the future.
They could have done it at the 70, and if
Shavkat will go up eventually.
Shavkat's so big.
Yeah, he's
so big. Yeah, he will. He'll probably do the same.
And I think comes up once he gets that belt is going to hold it for a long time.
Why does he keep talking shit to Pereira? Everyone's saying it's coming out now. It's like
who's talking shit about Pereira? Comes up.
Yeah, Hamza when he called out Pereira. He goes, "Come to," but now he's gone to 205.
That won't go. That won't go well for him.
Yeah, but then Bisping said it. He's like, "Hey man, pick a weight class."
Yeah.
You can't chase the big fights. He's like,
not big enough for 205.
He's not big. Man, he got through Usman at 185, and he
on a week's fucking notice
smashed him in the first round, but then couldn't pull it together.
Do you know what though? In all fairness, people say Khamzat's wins aren't that impressive and stuff. How many fights has he had in the UFC?
5 or 6.
Yeah, and how the last 3? Who were they?
Usman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Gilbert Burns. Yeah.
And maybe Mershaw. Maybe that was a gimme fight.
Mershaw was the gimme, but Kevin Holland.
Yeah. Given Kevin Holland, that card was a fucking schmozzle and they switched opponents, whatever.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be. That's when Tony,
that scramble.
Oh, it was wicked at the start. That first 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds.
That was... I watch that back every now and then, and I'm like, I still don't understand how he kept the position.
Yeah. The body lock. Once he's got the body lock, his ability to follow the back.
Kevin Holland's a fucking black belt.
Black belt,
He's not a shit...
And a scrambler black belt. Not a good wrestler per se, but a scrambler black belt.
He was...
We knocked out Jacare from his back. You got to understand, to be able to do that, you have to understand a lot of positioning to get tension and torque, to be able to use your legs to throw them into your fist and actually knock out a freak like Jacare, who's that good on the ground. And Hamzat did that to him.
And then his next fight, fast forward to Gilbert Burns, a bloke who's absorbed 2 fucking punches in the UFC. Never tested his chin, never been tested. Goes and has a fight like that and still edges it out. In my opinion, you can say Gilbert won, whatever. It comes out, edged it out, in my opinion. And it's a tough fight to score, but in my opinion, comes out did edge it out.
Yeah.
Either way, win or lose, for that to be your first test, and that tester being the fucking teacher being Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That is wild.
Did you see it wasn't long before that when Hamzat was having trouble getting fights, and then he had that grappling match with Jack Hermanson,
and that's when he belted him.
And he just ran through him in grappling, literally just slammed to the ground, got to his back and submitted him. It was just... And it was nuts. I remember that starting. And he just, as soon as he got in the cage, there was people still not even, there were people all around the cage. And he immediately just went in. As soon as he stepped in the cage, he goes, all right, we're going to go. People hadn't even gotten out yet and they started fighting.
Yeah, it's just bloody insanity.
It's just trying to keep it all together. That's the issue. It's keeping all these egos and keeping all these, big active fighters that you want to see compete all the time.
But... we'll leave it at that, and comes up keep fucking Pereira out your mouth, all right?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Keep my wife's name
out your fucking mouth.
Oh,
I've just got to keep doing this for some reason.
Now, okay, so we just said that before we were talking, we were going to start on Ian Garry. You see that? Are we going back to Ian Garry?
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say.
And the shit with Ian Garry, because we were about to bring up Jada Pinkett Smith, and then that ties into the wife of Ian Garry.
So I got a boys chat. Shout out to the boys. You know who you are. I got a boys chat, and it's just me and the boys, and fucking we're all diehard MMA fans. But the shit that gets talked in that group, I swear, one of my mates, I don't know if he has fucking Ariel Hawani's number or like what goes on with that cunt. But he breaks news before news gets broken. And they'll be like, how the fuck? He just follows it that deep, that closely.
I would say you go to X and Twitter. It used to be like, that's where the news breakers
so he might,
so if
but
you're doing that before,
he's on every fucking breaking event. And he messages me, and I'm fucking don't have time to scratch my ass. And he's like, broken me 7 fucking newses.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, have a look at all this shit with Ian Garry and this and that. And I was like, why is he calling him a cuck? Like, what's going on? And then I looked into it. His wife is 20 years older or whatever.
Yep.
From her last name, I imagine he's a fighter, her ex-husband or partner.
I don't think so.
Really? He's just a Machado.
Machado, yeah.
That's just a coincidence.
I think so.
Anyway, he still must be a bad motherfucker because he somehow is living at the house.
He's his nutritionist. He's the nutritionist, and he's turned him vegan.
What the fuck?
So he's got him on a vegan diet.
And he gave him his last name.
And so, yeah, that's right. And so Ian Machado Garry has taken the wife's name. And then the other crazy one with that is there's the whole video going, if I thought you were trying to manipulate, Ian Garry is saying to his wife in a video, if I thought you were trying to manipulate me or you were a wag, what
the fuck is a wag?
A wag is a wife and girlfriend. It's a soccer wife, right? But the connotation is more gold digger, right? It's not like a genuine long-term relationship. It's like, Terrence Crawford, like he's been with his high school girlfriend, and then people look like, what? You're like, well, they've been together since high school. We're like pre-success. You're going to be nothing all the way through. Wags.
Conor McGregor.
He
cheated on her, but...
Yeah, neither here nor there. Might have been a little high on some substances as well while he does all these things. But she stuck by him because, he also makes absolute bank. Because by then he was making all the money.
That's what you call investment right there.
But that's also what a wag is. And so, did you hear that she wrote a book?
Yeah. I'm going to get a copy of it.
Are you?
Because
you're going to buy it on Amazon Prime, mate?
I'm going a Big W to buy Jada Pinkett Smith's book.
Oh, goodness me.
And I want to hang
Are you actually going to read it?
No.
What do you mean? No.
I'm going to hang him here.
You're going to put a shelf here for Jada Pinkett and how to be a wag, how to pull, essentially how to pull a rich younger man. And how you have to, I heard this as well. It's like spend 75 grand, give yourself some fake titties, buy the best, a wardrobe that is extensive, do these A-B. She wrote a book about how to manipulate young, successful sportsmen who they don't think can think for themselves. And then you look at the circumstances that Ian Garry's living in at the moment, and then everyone's like, and then Sean Strickland, the king of calling out bullshit, called it out.
Whenever I've seen the funniest meme today of, shit's about to go down when you see a video of Sean in his car.
He's like, I've just finished training. But
do you know why, Bo? Because he's just finished beating the shit out of someone. He's loose. He
feels like he's thinking clearly. And it is. Because he's like, it's not vitriol, it's not anger. It's just like, look at the situation you're in, man. I can't explain this strongly enough.
It is. He's that much of a fucking psychopath. I can know, because I know what he's thinking. He's like, all right, I'm clear-headed. I'm thinking like a normal human being. Let me just post this. But in actual fact, he's just a fucking maniac.
He's a maniac. He's a maniac.
I love him so much.
But his thing, then he shares like personal DMs, and it's just like, you should not, because otherwise it's going to get bad for you. And so everyone's reading into it going, it means your wife is talking shit and you're going to sue him. And then he's like, get in line to it's just...
That's why UFC is the greatest sport in the world.
We're privy to all this because this all happens on Twitter X.
And do you know what else is the best about the UFC? And people can love him or hate him. No other president of any other organization would allow the shit that Dana allows because he's such a big...
You can't rein him in at this point. Sean Strickland has actually made a presence for himself, I think, by winning the title now that much bigger. But again, he shoots from the hip.
Dana would never censor anyone unless it's like obviously racist or offensive and harmful. I don't think... maybe not.
Now, when Adesanya was dropping N-bombs and he's like, what? He said, what? Of course he can. He's black. He's like, what? Everyone's like, what? Is that the justification? My MMA Twitter went into explode. They were like, really? That was your answer?
Is he really fucking... That was the beginning of the end of that fucking cunt.
Which one?
When he got in the ring and he was
of who though? Of Adesanya?
Yeah. No, just his presence to like... I didn't
realize the hate for Adesanya online.
Oh, it's so funny you said that because I've always been... he's fucking actually really nice.
I've been all supportive of him. And meanwhile, he's been training out in New Zealand for that long. It was only all positive about what he was doing in our area.
He can come off as like a bit of a wanker, but that is strictly an act.
Yeah.
Because he knows he gets views.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise how many people fucking hated him, eh?
Yeah. I didn't know either. And it's coming out worse. And then obviously when he lost the title,
it didn't help when he matched up with fucking Sean because Sean was coming for it. Do you know what that was? That was when was it? 2016 election. What was it? When Trump was with Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking Adesanya was Hillary. And Strickland was fucking Trump. He was the people. Yeah. He was the champ people needed.
Even coming over to Australia, he was he's wearing the Akubra. He's punching Aussie blokes in the stomach. He assaulted
someone within a minute.
He punched Aussie blokes in the stomach. Just didn't give a shit, mate. Oh, that was good. That was yeah. But I didn't understand the hate for Izzy, and then obviously now he's lost the title, but then he said he was going to take all this time off. Is he now going to go on the Volkanovski card in February?
I believe. Sorry for that. I was on my phone. I was just checking the actual rest of the card so we can talk about it. I believe Adesanya's got one fight left in him. Or two.
You reckon?
Max.
Well, you were saying that because of the longevity of like how long he did high-level kickboxing.
Adesanya, at the end of the day, his legacy is more in kickboxing than it is in MMA. His MMA legacy is just more well-known because it's a bigger sport.
It's been the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost, but look at
this is his crown jewel.
Also, yeah, but why do you hate on him as well? Look at people hate Triple C.
Oh, but look at fucking.
But also look at what he's achieved.
Yeah,
look at what he's achieved in combat sports.
Yeah, in a fucking really light division though.
He was in Mighty Mouse division, and he took him to a decision. That was a close fight, but
I reckon Mighty Mouse won that.
Yeah, well, that was close, and Mighty Mouse beat him in the first fight. But for him to do that, and again, you asterisk everything when you look back, because then when he won the title, he beat TJ, and TJ, that was the whole EPO shit where he was fucked.
Cutting 97.
He's trying to cut where he's at like 1.5% body fat.
Basically cut his fucking leg off.
Body fat.
He would have been better. He would have performed better if he cut one of his limbs off.
Now, you've all seen running movies where there's like they just dissolve into skeletons. It's the closest you see where there's still skin on.
Conor McGregor,
but they look like a skeleton. That was nuts. Yeah, it's just when you see in a certain amount, it's just there's nothing left. You're literally a skin man.
How come Conor could make that weight, but TJ needed to cheat to make that weight? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you reckon Conor was on some of that?
Maybe earlier on. Maybe there's going to be more of that now.
EPO is just red blood cells?
Yeah, that's the blood cell stuff. Yeah.
It increases red blood cells?
Yep.
So you have more energy, so you have more oxygen?
Well, oxygen. It's all about oxygen supply.
So you have red blood cells. Better cardio.
Yeah, way better
That's why it's prominent in cycling.
Cycling. Yep.
Interesting.
That's why it started, because it was endurance, like the ability to produce red blood cells, produces more oxygen, your ability to push, a higher pace, get your heart rate up to a high level and stay consistently at that high level. Whereas grappling is a little bit different,
grappling would be good for EPO.
Everything's good for EPO, mate. The more blood cells, the more energy you can have, the better it is. The higher your energy system, the better. Why do you think people use steroids, mate? It's because it's effective. It works.
Are you going to get on that TRT?
I haven't yet. I haven't even looked into it, mate. Someday.
That is the most sus answer.
Nah.
I haven't even fucking looked into it.
Yeah, I'd have to. It's like a project for me. If I did, I'd have to go get my level. I'd have to go get my levels checked.
Try to get 7 books on fucking.
I've already read 7 books on it, mate. I'd have to go actually get blood work. No, I am 35.
Well, you need it.
What do you mean I need it?
You need it.
I'm just fine, sir.
You reckon?
Just because
Have you got your test levels done?
No, I've never done any like blood panels.
What if it came back?
I should. I need to actually go.
What if your
get at least a base?
If your test levels came back half as good as they should be,
I was low, and they would be like, "You need some?" Absolutely. If I barely compete, mate. I'm known as not much of a competitor. If I went to a doctor and they were like, "You're low,"
you'd be able to train.
I'd train better. I'd go to work. I'd feel better. I still remember Chael Sonnen talking about it, where he goes, "The hardest thing with the TRT shitstorm of TRT Belfort and that whole pre-USADA medical exemptions for testosterone." But then when it come out later, it was like head trauma leads to diminished testosterone.
Yeah.
So you're already doing the sport like that. Well, of course, that's what Vitor Belfort, and then he's the superhuman. Him and Uberim, where it was like it's supposed to be like a 1-to-1, and they're getting up to levels of like 1400 to 1, and you're just like, what are we doing? It's not even close to that's a science experiment.
Fucking
he's a science experiment. He kicked Bisping's eye out, for fuck's sakes.
He did. And he was like piss in a cup and it would melt at the bottom.
Oh, man. The substances.
Bro, when he left the UFC, I remember he left I swear to fucking God, it was like 2 weeks.
I couldn't believe he fought. Like, he fought Weidman off the juice. Because that's when they go, yeah, we can't have it. And so he got his title shot at the end of TRT Belfort, and he had to fight off the juice, and he got the shit beat out of him after about a year when his body's... And he came back and he had tits, and it was like, oh, this is not going to go well. With the lion's mane hair, and it was like, this is not going to go well.
2 weeks or a month after he left the UFC, he posted a picture of him in a sauna, and that motherfucker's body must have just been... please... Like, please, can you just fucking take some?
Give me
because
something.
He must just have a body that just absorbs it, because he was fucking swole.
Well, the whole thing was when he came into the UFC at 19, he was already on steroids. So how long had he been doing steroids for?
Oh, at least 20 years.
Because they're saying, so the long term of abusing it. Like, he had traps at 19. The joke was he already had traps at 19. It was nuts. His speed and his speed and explosiveness. His boxing.
Kicked Bisping's eyeball out.
He will kicked Rockhold. Remember that as well?
Oh, God. He was a force.
The performances, he knocked out Henderson with some shovel uppercut thing. He just ran into it. TRT Belfort, they said that run that he went on for those 3 or 4 fights was bananas.
Still not as impressive as Uberim.
When bloody hell. Yeah.
He looks sick at the moment. Is he sick?
No, he's vegan.
He's sick.
He's a vegan marathoner.
He's a sick vegan marathoner.
He's gone. He's like shredding down as he's retired.
I thought he was fucking dying. Yeah,
well, that's when you've been so used to someone that's that juiced to the gills. You got every ripple, everything is giant.
There's that picture of him. That you know the picture of him on the scale
with Ariane Celeste, and she's all, oh my god. Oh my god!
But he's fucking looking at him. It's like, oh, that's Gojira.
The epitome of a Greek god. Yes, he was, and that's
you can see every fucking muscle that he has.
Isn't that when he fought Brock Lesnar and he came off diverticulitis
and he beat the absolute fuck out of him?
He kicked all of that intestine back up.
But you know what? Why did he have that?
Diverticulitis, eating too much meat.
Isn't that steroid abuse?
Yeah, many things, but I've heard
Gordon Ryan has a sore gut too.
Yeah, that was it's either that or between steroids or what he says with antibiotics and the amount it's build up of bacteria in your gut where it calcifies and it literally
from antibiotics.
Antibiotics can do it because you never replenish your good gut bacteria. And if you keep taking it over and over, you're like if you constantly have to do recycles of antibiotics, and you never replenish good and. They say now, man, there's a lot of the last 30 years, along with brain and neuroscience, like gut science has come a fair way. The intricacies of actual what is happening. Oh, my sound went really weird there.
What do you mean? It went down, or
yeah, it went really down.
No. It went down.
Yeah, down.
Is it better now?
No, that's all right.
Is it better now?
I think I just need to talk lower into it.
Is it better now?
No, you're dropping yours.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Whatever you just did was
better.
good.
I just had a moment.
Yeah, you were just flickering with the dials. But gut health is like it's becoming more and more understood because
the gut biome,
right? The microbiome. And then when you understand when the people talk about fecal transplants, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, right.
You seen that movie?
No.
You've never seen Osmosis Jones?
I have not. I don't even know what that movie is.
Chris Rock.
No.
He plays like a germ. But is this
a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're in... What's his name from fucking Ghostbusters? What's his name? Name the Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray?
He's in fucking Bill Murray's body. But Bill Murray's a sick man.
Really?
And
when did this come out?
Fuck, the 90s?
Oh, my God.
Osmosis Jones.
Nope. I had no idea about it. You know what osmosis is, though?
Reverse.
Yeah, well, reverse osmosis
is the reverse.
No, it's a transference.
Isn't it with the... No, that's photosynthesis.
That's right. No, it's to do with cells. Osmosis is the transference of things because they connect. They
Bill
essentially
Murray.
go into each other. Never seen it, mate. Never seen it. You can keep saying the name, but I love Bill Murray, and Ghostbusters is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
What do you think of the last one?
With the chicks,
with the women.
I watched it at the cinema with my sister, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It was no Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I mean. I don't know what more you want. Yeah. You tried to remake it with. It wasn't even about the women. It was just you tried to do what you do, and it didn't go so well.
Before we got on this crazy tangent,
us getting on tangents. What do you mean?
Shavkat Rakhmonov, which round and how?
Ooh, I think it might be a late second round. He's going to get him down in kind of like a ground and pound. Oh no, he's going to rear naked choke him.
You reckon?
I think he might be able to hurt him enough and take his back and strangle him. Yeah. Make his back,
second round.
His back. It's a late second round.
All right.
I think.
I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
I would put him 3-rounder.
Well, because he got Jeff Neal in the 3rd round by the standing rear naked last time, did he not? No hooks, just dragged him. Dragged him into that deep water.
First round TKO.
Well, he's got to get to him. That's the thing.
That's the hardest part.
With the guy that's that tricky as Wonder Boy, can he get to him?
There is going to be a point where Wonder Boy does slow down.
Yeah, well, that
has to be
like
coming.
41, 42.
Yeah, he's a freak.
He's just been in kickboxing for like 30 years where Chuck Norris is like,
there has to be a point. There has to be a point where you slow down. There is for everyone.
Yeah.
But I don't know, is it him because he lives his life so fucking pure?
That's why he lives his life so clean.
Yeah.
Such a clean fella. Such a wholesome guy.
Yeah, my fucking fight of the night.
Oh.
I'm putting $500 Tony Ferguson
Paddy.
beat fucking that Paddy by KO. He's gonna knock him out.
Oh, no, Scousers don't get knocked out.
Oh, he got he's been almost finished in every single one of his UFC fights. I hate that.
Well, I was saying his best win, and then Chase Hooper on the weekend had like the best scrambles.
I'll say this publicly. I'll say this fucking publicly right now.
Glasses on, so you can't see his eyes.
Fuck Paddy. Fuck his fan club.
Ooh.
Fuck all of you.
Ooh.
Because when I made a comment and it went fucking... It got like 100,000 views or whatever, and his little bitch fan club came after me.
Oh.
Guess what? He's not that good a fighter. If he beats Tony's on a fucking 9-fight losing streak.
Yeah, he's on like a 6-fight losing streak.
If he loses to Tony... Fuck off to the PFL.
I don't think Paddy's top 10, not even
Not
close.
even 15.
I was about to say top 15 would be, I think he could jump in by like 1 or 2 good wins where he's kind of gifted him and he has a good performance.
Not even 15.
The issue that he has as well, and you know it because he's very public and open with it, is he balloons up in between fights. Like,
I don't think he did
that as you get older.
In all fairness to him, I don't think he did that this time.
Yeah.
I think he's learnt that that's not good.
You can't balloon. Like, people have learned that's just common. If you're going to be the professional, you can't balloon that way, man. Like, that's awful for you. Your body will hate you, and then it will reject you, and then it'll reduce your longevity.
Yeah.
When this sport is already a short window enough. Professional sports, but professional combat sports, that's a short ass window.
He's not even a fucking young fighter.
Well, he's like late 20s, isn't he?
He's fucking almost 30.
He's almost there. So
And he had a big career in
Cage Warriors.
Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
He might not have given his best years there, but people talking like he's a fucking second coming of Jesus. He's not that guy.
No, because they want him because his personality.
But he's not that fucking guy.
No.
Like, and he lost to Jared Gordon. He lost his last fight.
But in saying that though, Forrest Griffin got to the title.
Fair enough.
I would almost equate from personality, tough winner, the company trying to push him because the fan base and what they'd already built and the fight that he had. And it was like, you'll never beat the best. You're getting coached by the best. But Paddy Pimblett, just might be in that same bracket where he's got the personality, but the skills, he'd have to get handpicked.
Yeah, and do you know what? When I first heard this, sorry for if you can hear that rain, if you can, it's not my fault.
We did. It was supposed to come tonight, wasn't it? It came late.
Yeah, it came late, so he's got half a fucking good episode. The one thing that so when I initially heard that they gave Paddy Tony, I was like, what fucking dogs. They're going to try and build.
They're trying to do the Nate Diaz versus Hamzat was the most obvious example. It's like, you're just trying to make your new star off your older stars when you think they're on a little bit of a decline. And it just shows you how fucking rude that business is to their veterans.
The more I thought about it, Tony can
beat him.
It's a fucking good fight for Tony.
Can beat him. Imagine if Tony comes in and just absolutely smokes Paddy Pimblett.
Guess what? We know that cardio's not the issue. We know that his chin is not going to be the issue.
He's been carrying all the boats. He's been working with Goggins. It's all over the socials. And some fighters and some people in the MMA community are all like, is that good at this stage to try and do it like this? But I'm holding out hope that this is going to be... I would love a swan song for Tony. Imagine if he come out and beat the shit out of... Because really, he should be able to scramble with him well on the ground, and I think his striking's way better than Paddy's.
Oh, it's so much better.
It's just whether if he's a step behind... If Paddy starts teeing off on him, I'm just going to be like, what the fuck are we watching? That'll hurt my feelings more than anything in the world.
He ain't going to tee off on him. I don't think so. He's fucking... Do you know what?
I don't think Paddy has it. We're going to pause for the rain. It's loud,
We'll pause it for 26 seconds.
See how it goes.
But we'll be back.
We'll be back with Paddy and Tony.
Fuck Paddy. We're back and we're more Caucasian than ever.
So white.
Alright, so you might get some rain noise, but honestly, unless there's a construction person out there that wants to fucking do me a solid,
add to this, yeah,
and I'll film them. I'll film them an episode for my YouTube.
In the little of the off time, Sav's obviously trying to sort out with what he has going here to soundproof it a little bit and make it a little more better for sound quality. Obviously, microphones and all that so much. It's the space around you. Sometimes it doesn't play ball. And at the moment, we're getting a giant bout of rain here in Adelaide.
Can't do them when it's raining. Can't do them when it's too hot.
If people do construction anywhere close to you, and you're like, hey, neighbour, there's on the whippersnipper right on the fence line.
That motherfucker over there, he got a new dog, and I want to punch it in the head. So if there is a construction company based in the southern suburbs of Adelaide, and you want to basically frame out and soundproof my shed for free,
Get in contact with Sav, just because first and foremost, he's got friends and some people with some know-how.
Yeah,
but
honestly,
if you really want to do something special with it, and he can give you a shout, I mean, you like building projects and you charge a fair price, get in contact with old Savas over here, because he's got some questions to soundproof a space of shed it's all well set up for certain things. It just needs to be soundproofed a little bit.
Just needs to be soundproof.
Needs to make sure it's built properly and built solid and doesn't drop on our head when we're podcasting. And yeah, if anyone wants to do that, and they're quite a expert and a little bit of a maestro and take a bit of pride in their work,
for free.
There's plenty out there.
Take pride in their free work.
Their free work, yeah. By work we mean you're gonna like the people that built the pyramids. They weren't slaves
for free,
but they just did it for free because they're working for the pharaoh.
All right, we dropped off at Paddy Pimblett and Tony.
That's right.
Ferguson.
We got onto Ferguson and Pimblett.
Because we started talking about Paddy Pimblett and Jesus got fucking mad, so he started running downhill.
That's right. He came along. We did all right. So we'll go back to the prelims though. So we got Josh Emmett versus.
No, that's not even at the prelims yet.
No, that's the first fight of the prelims.
No, it's not.
That's not otherwise you're going to fight past prelims.
No. This is still the main card.
Yeah,
Tony Ferguson, Pimblett.
Oh, that's main card.
And then the main card is still going Vicente Luque and Ian Garry.
Oh, we still Ian Garry and Vicente, because that started because Garry said some shit to Luque when Luque did a big post about, I think, loving Jesus and doing all that fun stuff. Yeah. And then Gary was like, "Yeah, you're gonna see white Jesus in the cage across from you."
He's really
but then all of a sudden MMA Twitter was like, "Oh, cool story, Ian Garry. Let's pull up some of your history," and then that's led to the shitstorm what we were talking about before, where everyone went in the background and was like, "Wait, your wife did what? Her ex-husband's living where?" It's all
your name is Ian Machado.
Ian Machado, Gary, because like it's all for the kids, but it's like she only just took your name on the social. She doesn't actually have your name legally, where I think yours is legal. It's a very strange state of affairs. But
still got him winning the fight.
As a fighter, he's so good. Luque is great. If he can get his neck,
it's a tough fight.
If he can get his neck, but his striking's good. But I think if the longer it stays on the feet, I think Garry has a better chance. If Luque can get a hold of him and wrap him up in a scramble and get his neck, he's got solid front chokes.
Luque can fucking bang too, man.
Luque bangs. Luque's got great striking. I just definitely wants to mix the martial arts to have the best chance to beat Garry.
Do you know?
I know many things, Sav.
Was a... Is Jack Madalena in Ian Garry's division?
170.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yep.
Someone was...
Ooh, that's a tasty fight.
Someone was saying...
But old Garry would be like, I'm not fighting down Jack Della. Has he broken into the top 15 yet?
You're going to do whatever the UFC say after this marketing schmozzle.
Oh, schmozzle. He's in a bit of a shitstorm right
You were going to be one of the greats until... Sean Strickland fucking ruined your life.
If you just stuck with the, I'm the second coming of Conor McGregor, and one Irishman said we're going to take part, we're going to take over. Yeah, you ruined it.
So you're going to do as you're fucking told.
Yeah, they might. Like, old Hunter Campbell's going to get in his ear and be like, "Oh, you think you're all that in a bag of potato chips?"
Here's Jack Madalena.
Ian Machado Garry.
So, this bloke I watch called The Weasel on YouTube.
Spoken about him.
Love him. Greatest MMA channel on social media.
For
analytics.
Analytics of the fight, like breakdowns of the fight or back down knowledge?
Breakdowns, just general chat about fighting. Right. And he's phenomenal at breaking down fights.
Yep.
And styles.
Yep.
And he was saying that there's not many champs available for UFC 300 at this point because
who's already booked
it's
and
very
what's already
weird
on the
timing.
cards.
Volk's not going to be there.
Yeah, yep.
Jones isn't going to be there.
Yep.
Fucking
Jones.
Take your pick.
Well,
there's only
most
women.
Booked,
It's like 3 of the fights or 2 of the title fights will have to be the women's division. Strongway Lee versus Xiao Kanon. Sorry if I'm butchering her.
Nah, that was closer than what I would have said.
And Julia Pena to fight.
Well, Julia Pena's not even... Did you see who they've booked for the bantamweight title?
No, who are they booking?
They've got Raquel Pennington versus that Santos, that Brazilian chick.
Yeah, maybe they give the winner of that to
Juliana Pena.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Pena's maybe injured or has a reason to be out. So they just...
Mate,
they booked the fight and everyone's like, what?
Or they could do... Is Valentina fighting?
No, she's 125.
No,
so
but
she's going to do the rematch with Grasso.
I was going to say, is she fighting soon?
Again?
Are they booked?
They're not booked.
Maybe they could be on.
I think that's what they were talking about. That's an option, is to book the trilogy.
There's not many.
They don't sell. They put that on a fight night. They did that on the Cinco de Mayo.
No, that would just be early prelim openers or something. But
no, they can't do that, mate. It's a title fight. You can't put them on the early prelim.
No. I mean, early main. Sorry, early main. But JDM versus Ian Garry, he was like, that is a fucking scrap.
That's a wonderful fight.
That is a hunter.
That's a striker's delight.
That's a hunter versus a counter striker.
Yeah,
Ian Garry is a fucking sniper, and JDM is a technician. That is. They might face each other out, and it might be boring.
But after the JDM versus Kevin Holland, and how hard it was for Jack to find his feet, engage with him. Like, he hit him with some great combos. There was some breakdown videos of his combos where it was like,
he's somewhat of a counter striker as well.
Yeah, well, that's why.
So it's hard.
It's somehow when the styles don't work. Remember, everyone thought Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou was going to be an absolute barn burner, and it was a shitstorm.
I would have loved to have just seen what was going on in the back rooms with Dana's head. That would just upset him so much.
That was awful. That was so bad. But again,
what was it, like three strikes in 2 rounds or something?
Oh, it was super slow, super hesitant from the one of the greatest.
Who won that fight? Derek.
That was the comeback fight for Ngannou after he lost to Stipe.
Well, it all worked out for Ngannou.
See what he does. See what he does next.
Bought Bellator.
Yeah, it was PFL and Bellator have just merged up.
Yeah, Ariel was trying to say it's the biggest. I think. Oh, don't quote me on this. I can't remember if he said it's just as big, almost as big, or bigger than the UFC Pride merge.
Okay,
but it is big. But they're always going to be second best.
You don't really know. But here's the thing: the fighters go over there; they're getting paid way better.
Yeah, that's good.
But where do they make their money if no one's watching them? You're not buying pay-per-views. Where's the model? Like, where's the model that makes you the money?
It's just weird. I don't know. PFL's just weird. I just don't.
I get into all that because when you were talking back and forth, it's like it's all just propaganda, right? It's one side telling one story and the other side telling the other story. And they're always trying to prop it up to be like, it's the biggest thing. It's the next big thing. And of course, Ariel's going to be like that because Dana hates him.
Yeah, but. See, what's his name? Impa
Asunganai, yeah.
He just fucking won the PFL
He won the $1 million.
Mate,
he was the highlight. He was the highlight
reel of Buckley.
Buckley.
But
Joaquim
has moved up now and looks a lot better.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
In his last fight, he looked so good.
Yeah.
But he ain't a fucking world beater yet.
No.
He is a great talent.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal fighter.
Fun to watch, yeah.
But he's
teetering on the top 15. He ain't
the best of the best.
No, he's teetering on the top 15.
And for Impa to go to PFL and clean everyone up.
So you're saying showing the talent of where you are.
It shows you where it is.
Yeah. That's right.
And they're still the toughest people in the fucking world.
Again, they say that. So you can have stars, you can create stars.
They'll hang and bang.
Business is made on stars, but it's like, where's your depth? And that is what the UFC has, but... Man, there's a lot with the UFC now. They've got the fighters. Everyone still got the name, the notoriety, but man, they're in a shitstorm right now with not paying the fighters, and fighters being like, "Fuck this."
When PFL and Bellator do their little heavyweight championship crossover event,
yeah,
fucking Beta has to. Ngannou.
Oh, fuck off. What? Oh, because he's the heavyweight champ. Beta.
Didn't he get knocked out by Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, Rumble's fucking does not punch anywhere near as fucking hard as
Rumble still punch hard because Rumble
punches hard.
DC still talks about Rumble hitting him.
And
DC fought at heavyweight and he still talked about Rumble hitting him.
Oh, you ain't punching as hard as fucking Francis Ngannou.
Francis is
like, what a weird matchup. That's
just bad.
Bellator,
it's just bad for Beta.
Bellator don't have a flyweight division, or they don't have a bantam.
They probably wouldn't have those low
There's
weight
two
classes.
divisions that they lack, and I forgot which ones they are.
Yeah.
I think Bantam no, they have a Bantamweight. Maybe PFL lacks it.
Well, you realise...
One of them doesn't have a certain division.
You realise when the 155-pound division came in for the UFC? Do you remember the early history? It's like 155...
That was after 135?
Was the lowest for the... Mate, 155... Well, it came in before that.
Who was the opening champion of 155?
Jens Pulver.
No shit.
Jens Pulver was back then, and then he beat BJ Penn, and then...
Where did they come from?
What do you mean, where'd they come
Did they absorb a company and take their 155s or anything?
No, back then there was not companies.
I was going to say.
There was just fights getting put on, and it was like, man, that was early days. That was just fighters getting involved. That was pre-Zuffa. Zuffa bought it. They put on One Chance, and they put on...
sorry, this would have been before they bought fucking WEC and
all that stuff.
Yeah,
this was all pre that.
Way before.
Yeah, but that was the lightest weight class going around was 155, and they folded the division after there was the draw between BJ Penn and Carl Uno.
And now it's the greatest division ever.
And 155 is one of the most stacked with some of the most recognizable names.
I'd say 155 is the one.
Is 155 still the biggest now that Khabib and Conor are pretty much out of it?
No, I'd say 145 is a big division.
Yeah.
155 definitely is probably a marquee division.
Well, hang on a minute. 145 is one of the biggest divisions. Once you
got
Volkanovski and you got Topuria. Who's next after Holloway? Because Holloway is always there at the top.
Aljo's moving up. That's it.
Aljo's coming up to 145.
Yeah, I believe so.
Did he ask to? Has he already asked for a fight? Why do I feel like he's already asked for someone?
I
saw a matchup, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I'm pretty sure he has a fight.
Yeah.
But
because Marab wants to do the 135.
It's exactly like football, like
AFL or gridiron.
AFL.
You could have listeners worldwide, mate. You know, it's kind of a big deal.
The UFC in Australian football, I don't know if it's similar to other sports, but other sports in America and stuff don't have salary caps as heavy as us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got strong ones. Yeah.
So our teams have like a 6-year span where they're phenomenal, and then their older players retire, and you have to rebuild over 4 years.
So the skill is to actually build the team with the salary cap
and do
bring
well.
All this talent and do well between coaching staff and talent and anomalies of skill, big names, and then to do that you get people that win trebles. They win the title 3 times in a row, and it's like because the team
just melds
brought it together. But yeah, you can only spend a certain amount.
But then that team that wins, say, 3 grand finals or final series, eventually they will come to a point where their good players move and retire, and the cycle goes back to them having to rebuild for 4 years, 5 years.
They rebuild, and it's how far they drop though. Can they keep it? Can they keep the talent somewhere in between as they're in the rebuilding phase to get?
The main point of the story though was UFC divisions are the same.
Yep.
They have a lifespan.
Yep. Lifespan, stars.
So 145
matchups.
145 in Conor's prime era was the fucking division.
Yep. Well, because
Poirier, Max Holloway.
Aldo was the king, and then he was the long reigning king, and then Conor was the flare up, the massive flare up. But there was strong talent
in old UFC days.
Light heavyweight
was the premier division.
Was the gold division. Yeah, heavyweight was always tough because they had like Tim Sylvia and Randy Couture.
But then Jones fucking came through at
light heavyweight and just
20 or 19 or 23, cleaning up everyone. Then you have Anderson Silva coming to fucking middleweight.
Just
that's the middleweight era.
The show,
and then you got Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell era.
155 or 170 Chuck.
What, Chuck?
Yeah.
205.
205?
He was light heavyweight.
Was he?
Yeah, Tito,
yes.
He was Tito.
His people were just smaller back then, smaller men.
No, but he had the beer gut, mate, but he was still fit as a fiddle.
Just smaller men.
You can't take him down, and he's striking. He had so much power, and he could eat shots, and he'd just eat some shots and just leather you. He would flatline.
Like I'm saying, every division has its era.
Yep.
Conor's era was 145, and now 155 when Khabib was dominating was the most stacked fucking division. Still is.
You know what?
Still is.
You put your thumb
Still is, but all of those fighters, all of our favourite fighters within the next 4 years, all fucking retired.
Are gone, right.
Every
Yeah, you were
single
saying
one
that,
are fucking retired.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's moving up to 170. I feel like 170 and 185 are about to have their time.
They don't even stay at their divisions long enough.
That's the thing,
How
though.
funny is it now that you become a champ, you defend
fuck
your
off.
title 2-3 times, and then next minute it's like, no, I reckon I can go up.
Yeah, nah.
That's happening all the time now. It never
Yeah,
used to
'cause
happen that way. It never used to happen that way.
everyone wants to reach the double champ.
Well, that's right, because that's now a thing, the champ, right?
Yeah, that's
because
the
there's
thing.
been 8 people that have done it, or whatever it is.
Yeah, but how many people have done it while simultaneously?
Connor.
Jones's is weird.
And Jones is, yeah, I
Because
wouldn't
do you
even,
count Jones's as a simultaneous?
No.
Because he relinquished his.
No, I don't.
Really?
No. Look, Jones is the best.
You don't think he'd go down and whoop a fucking light heavyweight right now?
Nah, he couldn't get back down to 205. You got to give him another year, and he's already off for a year. Yeah, if he stopped eating right now, that's what we'd do it. But he's not.
Fuck, Pereira and Jones would have been a fight.
Oh,
Oh, that would have been a fight, bro.
Jones would have like.
Killed him.
But Jones would have run. Like, but you can't say run into the clinch because he'd run into a left hook.
Do you know?
Don't do that. Don't do that one. Whatever that one was.
Yeah, that was horrible. Sorry. Do you know? Prime Fedor or Prime Jones? Jones, easy.
Oh, what?
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. I think so. Yeah.
Who beats Jones?
Well, no one. I don't think anyone's going to. I don't even
Current
sure who's gonna fight
heavyweight
again.
now, not even in his prime. Anyone?
Mate, him versus Cain Velasquez
Oh, beats the fuck out of Kane.
in his prime.
Oh, are we talking
Cain-
prime for prime?
Cain when he I watched a doco and we talk about good online
I
content.
fucking just don't.
I
think
just
Jones
watched,
I don't think he knows how to lose.
I just watched like a 40-minute doco about Velasquez going
Yeah.
into obviously what he did, the fall off and the decline because of injuries, the murder or attempted murder of a.
Do you watch it on YouTube?
Yeah. But again, good online content. A 40-minute video, very well done. You put it up very loud. You just hear that rain even more. I can't believe it's still raining like that. But anyway, yeah, that's what I do now on a Sunday. There was no fights on, and I was just sitting around, and I was like, I'll just watch some of these videos now, and they're 20 to 40 minutes of like Joseph Vincent's a wicked one. He does boxing and MMA ones, and he's got a massive catalogue. Mixed Mollywoppy, I think we've talked about a few times. He does good breakdowns, but he does like rise and falls of people. But yeah, then there's just great highlight videos, and sometimes they're so well put together. They get the early day highlights.
I've got to
really
sit
good.
down and really fucking watch Kane fights.
Matt Kane, I was high on Kane because I remember back then I was getting subscriptions to MMA magazines.
Yeah.
That was back when Kane was coming up. I was like just out of high school, maybe. And so that's when he was coming up, and like John Fitch, who was fighting for the title, he's like, I remember reading, that's why I still remember reading this article, was he's like, is there, the interview asked, is there anyone coming out of your gym? And he goes, there's this guy, Cain Velasquez, he's 2-0 at the moment, but everyone's going to know him within the next few years. And then, he couldn't get a fight, and so UFC brought him in at like 3-0, he was 2 or 3-0. And then by the time he's fighting Nogueira, he's like 9-0.
It's crazy, and the heavyweights had their fucking time too. I just
But
feel
that's why they look at, because Rogan talks about it as like skill for skill. Kane in his prime, when he saw him in person, he goes, he's the best.
Yeah, right.
That's what Rogan said. Yeah.
I just feel like, like I was saying, I feel like 170 and 185. 170 mostly is about to have its time.
Who's the big?
Not 170, 185.
Who's the big upcomer? So you've got Hamzat at 185.
Eventually, Shavkat will be up there.
So Shavkat's going to come.
Shavkat will be up there.
Shavkat versus Hamzat, if that still go for in like
that's the fight.
In like 2 years.
That's the fight in the future.
In about 2 years.
That's the fight.
Yeah, because if he goes up, because Shavkat's big, like
he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. But something about those weight cutters, man. Hey, when you're that big and you can get that advantage at 170 and you've got all those skills, the thing about him is when you're that, you're the Russian master of sport in combat. And so you're good everywhere. And then you get into the UFC and that's all you've been doing since you were, 6, 10.
So Strickland is going to fight Drakus?
Is that the next fight? Strickland Dreyfus? It is.
It is?
Strickland versus Dracus Duplessis, DDP.
Does the winner of that fight comes up
No, Kamzat's got to have another. Surely has to have another fight.
against Adesanya?
He's not going to fight Adesanya.
You don't reckon?
Adesanya's fighting Pereira, light heavyweight.
No. They
That's
won't make...
That's apparently what's happening on the Volkanovski card.
No.
Didn't you see it shared?
No.
Oh,
Dana said he was not interested in that.
I didn't think he was. I thought he was going to be retired for a while, but he
They
shared
can't
it.
do that again.
And they wanted. Apparently, it's all.
If Izzy gets another title fight, it's stupid.
Very.
He's lost his belt twice in 1 year.
Yep.
Let him have a break. Go have another fight. It's bad juju, that fucking dude, man. Don't ever since Pereira has come to the UFC, it's just caused Izzy misfortune.
The memes they've made of like everything that Izzy did is like Pereira did better. It's like you couldn't beat.
He was the judge.
You couldn't be the two division champ. You couldn't beat Jan Blachowicz. Pereira did. You couldn't win the dual championship. Pereira could.
Pereira needs to chill. He's gonna fucking follow Izzy to his grave.
Mate, Pereira can. He called out Izzy. He wanted to fight him again. He's the one
Can't
that called
fight
it.
Izzy. He's got to fight Jamal Hill.
He's gonna fight Jamal.
Oh, but Izzy might want a long. He said he wanted a long layoff.
They're gonna throw Jan in there at any point. Jan.
Well, who the fuck?
UFC hate Jan.
Who the fuck do they get comes out to fight then?
Well, Hamza is at 185 and this is 205.
Yeah, but who do they get Hamzat if Izzy's not going to fight Hamzat?
Izzy won't fight. Yeah.
Or
Izzy
who does he fight then? Whitaker?
Could be.
Oh, that's a fucking good
Well,
fight.
because he's already beat Usman now, so at least you can't say he's not beat anyone. It's like, well, no, now he's actually beat. It was a 170, but it was the 170
Still
champ.
fucking Usman.
It was Usman, right? And so
He knows how to fight.
yeah, so he should be like, yeah, he has to get a top 5 middleweight. So who would that be? If you got Strickland, DDP already fighting, Cannonier, like you gotta throw him a Cannonier, a Whitaker. What do you got? Vittori. What are you gonna give Marvin Vittori?
That's a good fight for Hamzat.
For a good fight for Kamzat, yeah. I think he would mollywop fucking Vittori.
The worst fight on the roster for him, I'm telling you now, is fucking Whitaker. Whitaker's
Yeah,
a
but we all
bad
thought that
fight.
we all thought that would when then he fought Dracus, and then Dracus got him.
Yeah, but I just...
Do you reckon he can out scramble Whitaker? It's just Whitaker has to survive that first round.
That's a horrible fight for... No, I'm saying that's a horrible fight for Kamzat.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he has to survive. If he
Like, that's a bad
Whitaker
fight.
survives the first. If Whitaker survives the first round, I
That's
think
a
Whitaker
bad
over a
fight.
3-round fight. If it plays out with Usman, with Whitaker being bigger, striking, I think he can hurt him a lot more on the feet than what Usman could.
If he's just pop-shotting him...
Yeah, man.
Bang, bang.
Like that leap in jab, and next minute he's going to be like side kicking him to the knee, and then whack, hit him with a step in right hand.
Kamzat's fucking wrestling so good.
It's
though.
so good though. Yeah, yeah.
He is a freak.
As everything, it's like, can you survive that first round with that wrestling? It's like he's the throwback to the survival of the first round.
He might
with
be the
his skill
greatest
set.
first round fucking fighter
His skill set for that body lock, gets you, just ragdoll you. Can he ragdoll you? Like, but Khabib did it different, didn't he? Like,
he totally
he did it-
immobilized you.
immobilized you. Yeah,
There was no scrambling with Khabib. There
That's
was
right.
there was no frantic scrambles. It was, I'm gonna get you against the cage. I'm gonna suck your body into
Yeah.
mine. Get your legs
Yeah.
in this position that no one has ever put you in before.
Yeah, his
I'm gonna
what-
put you in a position you've been in 100 hours this training camp,
yeah.
and you're still not gonna be able to fucking get up.
Well, his revolutionary tactic, I think, in
figure four
MMA
leg
was
lock thingy.
to wrap the legs and to not use your arms to pin, to use your legs to pin
And your hips.
and use your legs and hips to pin, and especially pin you against the cage, and then trap a wrist, punch with an arm when they're trying to post, because the only thing left is to post and build, but you leave your face there, you get punched.
Who was it? Jordan? Oh no, Michael Johnson. Was it Michael Johnson?
Yeah, where he starts calling him out, he goes, "You have to
must
quit
do
now.
it, yeah.
I fight for the title. You know this. You know I fight for the title." I've been watching the on UFC Fight Pass. They have the top 30,
Yeah.
and so the 30 for 30. It's essentially what the ESPN would do. But it's, best 30 fighters over all the generations. And I've just watched the second episode. Khabib was like number 13. They're not going best to worst. They're not ranking. It's just who's the best 30 when you think of all the fighters that have come through UFC. From early, they did it bracketed from this era to this era, this era to this era, and then the latest era.
Obviously, Conor would be in there.
Conor hasn't been brought up yet.
He'll be high up.
Because Dominic Cruz. The last ones, it was all like Dominic Cruz.
Dominic Cruz fucking opened up and dominated the bantamweight
exactly.
Whole lot.
So it was
Jose
him.
Aldo would have to be there.
Aldo's up there. They had Faber did not get a gig, but he was doing the commentary for like when WEC was starting to merge with UFC and starting to build the lower divisions. Mighty Mouse was in there. Mighty Mouse got brought in.
Cain
Velasquez. He hasn't been brought up yet.
Jones
is gonna come later. He's
Conor
not there
will
yet.
be in there.
No, because the early ones, what would you say? So I think the first 10 was it was like Randy Couture,
Sakuraba.
Tito. No, that was Pride.
Oh, they didn't count. They don't count that.
No, they didn't count it with Pride. Even though they bought him out, they didn't count because he never fought.
So they gave Tito.
They gave Tito.
Tito was a fucking huge
Tito,
dude,
Chuck, Randy.
Everyone
he was a
shorts.
start. Hoist Gracie. Was there anyone earlier?
They give
those?
Ronda?
She's not been in yet. No, she will.
Or Nunes maybe.
Nunes, I would think, would come in
Ronda
in the last
women's
three.
MMA.
Yeah. Ronda. Yeah, mate, Ronda started the women's division in
Schwab.
UFC. Schwab will not be in this. He will not. But yeah, no, it's good. It's well done. But they're just talking about it. But again, it's like GOAT arguments. It's like the greatest of all time.
There's no GOAT.
There's no GOAT. It's just the best at that time. Oh, Anderson Silva was obviously brought up when he got introduced and just ran through. Did Vitor? I don't think Vitor. I don't know. I'm sure Vitor's been
Too
brought
many
up.
fucking steroids.
Maybe I think he might be a little bit too tainted.
That's how you know how. That's how
It's a
you
real
know
shame.
John Jones is the greatest of all time. Because he's run over a fucking pregnant woman, done cocaine countless times, been popped for steroids,
Domestic violence,
allegations, and guess what? He's still the best fighter of all time.
They say that though. It's like you can be.
That's how good he is.
Yeah.
He. In all fairness, if there ever was or ever will be a GOAT, it's John Jones, and there's no. There's nothing.
The only thing I would say to that as well, with why people argue with Khabib, is because the damage that he did, but the damage taken. Khabib never took damage ever. Never had a cut. Never. He took a few strong blows, but never had. But then with Jones, there was wars with Gustafsson. There was wars with Santos.
Close fights.
There was close fights with who was the other guy that then once he fought him, Dominic Reyes. Just totally fell off after he fought Jones. He gave him like maybe the closest, maybe the people who were most convinced that he lost.
Jones won.
See, that's yeah. I think he won as well.
Like I would still edge it out. Fair enough if you want to score it for Reyes.
Yeah.
I'm not even a believer of you have to beat the champ to beat the champ.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in that.
Yeah.
I think if you fucking win, but if you win by an inch, you fucking win by an inch.
But in saying that, so in terms of the GOAT cause, because it's skill set brought in to be, and if that would transfer, it doesn't matter weight class, it was like the skill set brought in. So Khabib's ability as he transferred through to not take damage and to completely dominate their opponents is an argument for it. But Jones, because of creativity, ability to hurt you, being completely in the moment for some fights. I mean, for the longest time, though, I held up Anderson like that because it was much like the Mike Tyson effect back in the day, where it's like he's just lambs to the slaughter. He was just, how is he going to beat him?
I think
when I was watching Anderson, man, it was like, how's he going to beat him? It was
around too long though.
With and that's what tainted it a little bit, and that's probably what Jones will worry about if he's going up in weight. Got to have a few fights. What do you reckon? If would they do Jones Aspinall?
No. Jones.
So that's the whole thing.
Jones isn't stupid enough to do that.
So there we go. So what? He's going to beat Stipe and just
Jones is still the favourite in that fight
versus Aspinall.
That'd
be a pick'em fight.
But I would still put Jones as a favourite. But I would not be nearly as confident going into that fight as any other fight on the roster.
Yeah.
Aspinall was a fucking animal.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems he would present. He's just younger and more just as athletic.
Obviously, Stipe isn't fucking... To me, that's an easy dub for John. Easy. He goes out. He's beaten the greatest on paper heavyweight of all time.
Yeah. That's what it was supposed to be. That's why. Do you even want to see it now? It's just been delayed. It's just like,
But now Aspinall's just lurking.
Yeah.
And I would almost...
And then what? You get it and you walk away. You go, nah, I'm good. I'm good, young buck.
I'd love to see Jones fucking whoop a youngin'.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he just beats the shit out of Aspinall and then walks away?
Mate.
And then just retires. You're like, what? He actually just obliterates Aspinall.
If he fucking nailed it.
If he obliterated Aspinall and Aspinall's the second coming of like a legit heavyweight with all the attributes and Jones like steamroll.
But Jones is that good.
And that good.
He doesn't fucking know how to lose.
He ripped his pec wrestling with Maurice Green.
He got fucking surgery 10 hours after he did the fucking injury.
Fucking nuts.
But that Aspinall 100% is the hardest fight of John Jones's career at this point because of
Aspinall was definitely like number one.
Introducing like his age and his wear and tear, and if you put all of it into fucking a pile, this is his hardest fight.
Oh yeah, that's why he's got it though, because Aspinall had a good run. He fought good competition getting up.
Aspinall's so quick.
Oh, he's so quick
and so athletic.
And the only time he lost is he blew his knee out against Curtis Blades.
Fucking moves like a middleweight.
Yeah, he's leaping in and out. Meanwhile, he's got solid grappling. But then he's striking, and everyone was like Pavlovich, who's like, no, he wants to be able to push Pavlovich against the cage, do what kind of Overeem did tactically. It was a bit smarter. Don't get knocked with that power. They're like, yeah, cool story. No, just knock you out.
What do you think of Pereira at heavyweight?
Pereira ain't going to get a heavyweight.
I reckon he'd have some
because everyone's always like, he's so big. At 205, he's now normal.
Yeah.
He's a good-sized light heavyweight. It's normal. If he goes and tries to do, Jones took how long off to beef up, and then he came and he was still kind of pudgy, and it was just because of his skills that he overcame Garn.
I'd watch Aspinall Pereira.
Oh, fuck, you'd watch it. Of course you'd watch it. Hey, man. Of course you'd watch it. I just don't think size-wise, because even when, like, Aspinall's, like, even big heavyweights, they're not shredded, are they? They're just mass.
He's big. No,
but they're thick. They're thick.
Aspinall's fucking shredded.
He's not shredded.
Not to fucking the physique of a middleweight, but for a modern day, that's what a modern day heavyweight looks like now. Back in the day, unheard of.
Tank Abbott.
Yeah, fucking 5'6" in heavyweight.
Oh man, pit fighting. Yo, Bilty, that was a thing. Yeah. That was a thing.
No, I don't fucking get it. But it's an interesting time in the UFC's history.
There's good fights coming up. We've got obviously there's the Edwards versus Covington is the main fight, which we haven't talked about much because really I'm not that keen on it. Edwards is good.
Colby's good.
Sav thinks Colby's gonna win. I probably think Colby's gonna win. I think
Colby's gonna beat the shit out of him.
You reckon he's going to beat the shit out of him? I don't think if Usman couldn't beat the shit out of him, and Usman and him had such a back and forth.
No, I reckon Colby's just going to take him down.
I don't think he can, man. Look how good his takedown was against Usman when he tried to shoot. I don't think it's going to be as easy as that, as what you think. As what you think the wrestling is. I think he's cage wrestling, and no one, unless you're a Bo Nickel, no one has the wrestling out in open space. Everyone with their good wrestling.
I want to see get tested. There's one cunt
Ooh.
I want to see get tested in the UFC.
Where? What are we talking? What division? Bo Nickel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to throw him some. Bo and Kamzat's a fucking.
Oh, well, he asked for that second fight in.
But he's. Is Bo 185er?
Yep.
He is.
That he is. That's why, because when he came up, I was like, okay.
Wait, they got him a fight. They gave him a.
Bo.
He's fighting by the end of the year, isn't he?
Bo or Hamza?
Bo. He's fighting by the end of the year. I believe so.
Oh, one of us should probably check that.
I believe he's fighting by the end of the year. Sorry.
Why do I feel like it's not? Why do I feel like he's like, no, I'm not going to fight until the new year? I don't think he's got a fight scheduled. Bo Nickel fight scheduled. Well, they have to fast track him because he's so popular in North America, which they can. I mean, they did it with Kane.
Bo Nickel teases fight for UFC 300.
So he's not booked.
He'd be a fucking perfect early, a opening of the
Well,
or ending the prelim.
Isn't this the same thing? Bo Nickel can just run the Cain Velasquez route. That's exactly what happened. He came in off the Contender Series. Was he 1-0? Or was he 0-0?
I think Dana made him have one more fight in the Contender
Series. In the Contender, so he had two. That would have made him, I think it made him 3-0 overall.
Yes.
I think he had
because he would have had one fight.
He had one fight in one of the things and he knocked him out with hands.
He's seasoned.
Right? So he's a freak. But you can do that. There's been very few people that have done that in modern age. Cain Velasquez was the last one. They couldn't get him fights. They brought him in. You've got such accomplishments outside of fighting, like with his wrestling. And his wrestling is so good that it just depends. Yeah, you can't get him lower level fights. Eventually, you just keep stepping up.
All right. I'm bringing up the 185-pound rankings. Oh, my God. And we're going to see who the fuck
Bo's going to go, where's Hamzat's going to go, and what problem Strickland is going to have going forward.
Quickly get rid of this because this is pissing me off. Doing this on the fly, video capture.
Keeping it going. Savas working on the computer.
I've had some fucking technical difficulties.
It's been a little bit. It's probably down here in Australia as well. Technical difficulties when it's raining. It's just our weather will knock out all of our interwebs.
All right, top 20. Oh, fuck. We'll go top 25.
Top 25.
Andre Petrosky.
Yeah, that's working their way in.
Fluffy Hernandez,
yeah.
Michelle Pereira.
He did. He just had a win.
That's
he
a
came
fight
up.
for Bo.
He came up.
That's a fight for Bo.
Ooh,
that's
fun.
a weird fight.
That's a fun fight.
That's a I'm gonna fuck you up if you come near me
good,
fight. That's the fight.
That's a good call.
That's the fight.
Yeah, I like that fight.
After Bo fucking...
Because he ragdolls Pereira, because Pereira looked good, and he's got such a leap-in style that if Bo has to close range to get him...
Yeah. That's fucked.
That's an interesting dilemma.
And he's number 23 at the moment.
Michelle Pereira's 23. Well, he just come up from the lower division. He
yes.
only had one fight.
But then you got Brad Tavares is above him at 22. I feel like that's a gimme fight.
Strong veteran.
Yeah, that's a.
Who did he beat? He just beat Weidman in his last fight. Oh, who's next? Who's next?
What about
20 or 21?
What about? This is hard though because you're killing us. You're killing
future
one.
stars, right?
Yeah.
Oh, who is it? Who's there? Who's there?
You can either go. There's two, and they're ranked next to each other. So you go, Bo Nickel versus Pfeiffer.
Joe Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
He runs through Joe Pfeiffer.
You reckon?
Oh, he beats the shit out of Joe Pfeiffer.
Really?
Really? You don't think Bo Nickel beats the fuck out of Joe Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's strong. He's thick.
He's getting taken down.
He's getting taken down and fucking eaten alive on the ground.
Or Baralo.
Caio Bahayo.
Sorry, I forgot that you don't pronounce the fucking
Yeah, I was like Baralio. Who's
Bahayo.
Bahayo. Caio Bahayo.
Because he's a submission
he's great.
guru.
That's another good fight. That is because he's part of that the Nerd Assassins, whatever they call themselves. That's the Brazilian group that he trains out of, and they've got a bunch of Contender Series
like Danaher from Wish.
A wishlist Danaher's Death Squad. The Nerd Assassins. They're super into it.
That's actually the fight.
They break it down. That's great.
Because at the end of the day, they have to give him a fucking jiu-jitsu wizard. They can't just keep giving him strikers.
Yeah, no, you got to give him the test on the ground. Yeah, to let it get tested on the ground. And actually, Bahayo's like good on the feet.
Oh, that's a good fight, dude.
Dude, Bahayo's.
How is Gastelum still ranked 12?
And Gastelum's fighting who coming up? He's got a fight like on the next pay per view or next fight night.
No, he's got a fight this Sunday.
He's got the fight night, right?
Mm.
Yeah, who's Gastelum come back for? We already just looked at that before.
Yeah, we did. We literally just looked at that. UFC fight.
Because it's been a hot second for Gastelum to have a fight.
He beat
He came back and looked good, right? At 170? Has he come back at 170?
He
fucking he's gonna have another
beat.
One.
Oh my god, that's pissing me off. He beat I'm gonna look right now. Sorry, fuck. He beat... Who'd he beat?
I can't even. It's not even coming to me. But he actually had a good fight, and he's got a fight coming up. Like either this weekend or the next.
He beat Chris Curtis.
That's right. Well, Chris Curtis is like
Through
right on the verge.
2 punches.
And Chris Curtis is the main training partner of Strickland. So
Sean Brady. He's fighting Sean Brady.
That's why we knew it was big. Gastelum versus Brady at 170. Brady had a rough go.
He's going to cop it.
Well, because Brady lost. He got outworked and out-hustled by, remember the name, Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, but Sean Brady's going to fucking put a whooping on the Gastelum.
If he comes out, man, Gastelum, if he's got that gas tank sorted, that diet dialed in at 170, on a mission for gold, Gastelum.
Oh, Brendan Allen and fucking Bo Nickel. There's some good fucking matchups.
They're not going to... Brendan Allen, after he just did that to Paul Craig on the weekend, everyone's talking about him being like, give him a top 5. And then people in the top 5 are like, hey, man, check your role.
I don't
know. You just beat a bloke that's come down from another division.
Derailing Bo Nickel is way more satisfying than beating someone in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to derail,
Bo Nickel.
You want to derail Bo Nickel?
I don't. I'm not me.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
You think it'd be fun for the UFC to derail Bo Nickel?
No, for Brendan Allen. I'm saying for Brendan Allen, it's almost as good for him beating the fuck out of Bo Nickel.
But you can't go into that fight thinking that you're just going to beat the fuck out of Bo Nickel.
You can't be scared of him and scared of the takedown either. You got to remember at the end of the day that you're an MMA fighter and he just happens to be one of the best wrestlers that's ever lived.
It's true. It just shows how well, it just makes you think how quickly you fast track him into the high level. Because when you get to that,
at the end of the day, you don't fucking punch in wrestling.
No, you don't.
Like, you can wrestle all you want, but there's going to be a time where one of these punches hits your chin, and how are you going to react to that?
So you think about that with the striking aspect of going, there's only a certain amount of punches you want to
and
take.
This isn't me shitting on Bo Nickel.
And it changes your grappling, but then I think about the grappling, and it's like to make you quit. It's not so much the damage on you, but it's so exhausting.
You're going to grind you to tears.
I'm going to grind you to, it's like, I want to cry. Literally, I have no options. I can't do anything. I'm getting pinned into the ground. I'm getting smushed by every joint. I'm getting bones in my face. But it's different from striking because you're not copping that repetitive head trauma.
Well, there's also people in the UFC as good at jiu-jitsu as he is at wrestling.
There is.
And there's also people...
Yeah, but look at how he did against Gordon Ryan.
Yes. And there's also people in the UFC that are as good at striking and
as he is.
And there's people that are...
But that's right. But
they're not as good at wrestling as him.
That's right.
But they're fucking amazing at anti-wrestling.
Yeah.
Because on a wrestling mat, there ain't a cage.
But can their anti-wrestling
nullify
the level of wrestling
and
that he has?
His striking looks fucking good.
Yes, it looks very good.
Like for life.
And that's what he's going to be working on. But then again, you look at...
He only needs a fucking overhand.
No, you can't say that because Josh Koscheck could only work for so long till he ran into GSP.
But he's that good. He does not need to worry about his hand. Like, his hands can be fucking up here. And, like, he can be fucking up here like this.
Yeah.
And he does not have to worry about it. Because no one's going to try and take him down.
Just wonder, he just wonder what's going to happen.
But Bo Nickel comes out eventually.
Well... That's why. So there's your middleweight future, yeah. Pereira. So what? He's got Jamal Hill next, and then
imagine
who comes down the pipe. You don't really know.
Fast forward 3 years, 2 years even.
2 years.
Yeah, imagine a year and a half.
Yeah.
We're in 2024, brother.
Yeah. Well,
we're a month away.
We're going to be soon. Yeah.
We in a year and a half could be watching the press conference of Bo Nickel versus Khamzat Chimaev.
In a year and a half? That could happen if they give him at least 2 fights and they both win and they get there.
3-month world tour.
I think Bo Nickel...
That's Dagestan. That's wrestling. That's wrestling versus Sambo. That's
wrestling. Strong wrestling rules to be like, your wrestling, no, my wrestling. My wrestling... Your blast double single legs to my body locks.
Khabib's just going to be like...
What's going on over here? Doesn't matter, but he's got...
Do you reckon Khabib comes back and still dominate?
He could now, yeah.
You think he does?
Yeah, but he couldn't come back at 155. You seen the size of that bloke's head?
Say he does make 155. Do you think he comes back and just dominates?
Have you seen him? I watched another video, one of those breakdowns I did, Velasquez and another one with Khabib. Khabib, when he was making 155, remember the struggles he would have on the... He used to kill himself. No way, man. It would take so much work to get him back down.
Do you reckon he dominates 170?
At 170, I think he fucks up anyone, yeah. Well, because who's... So you got Edwards Covington.
Oh my God, Khabib killed both of them.
Mate, he killed both of them, yeah.
He does.
Yep. He could come back at 70 right
Covington's a harder fight for him.
Oh yeah, Matt, Covington's a more interesting technical dilemma. I think he could get up if he could just got a hold of Edwards. Just
Covington's not big enough to move up to 185, is he?
No, he's not. But with his Covington early on as well, remember he got Wally Abbas guillotined him when he went in for a silly single leg. So what could Khabib do if he fucking starts wrestling with him?
Yeah, I've seen... do you watch Anatomy of a Fighter?
I know of it. I haven't watched all of them.
Always good.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Fuck.
Was it Will Harris?
Will Harris. Some of those videos, he gets like so deep into the camps.
Yeah.
And you see how...
He did it with Khabib, right?
Oh my God, those guys... Even the basketball they play.
Yeah, it's like wrestling basketball.
They don't dribble the ball. And then they randomly start
bashing each other. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah, they make up their own game.
There's no dribbling.
They don't want to play basketball. They just like to shoot into a hoop. They don't want to... That's the old basketball skit. We're pretty good at basketball. Yeah, as long as we don't have to run or jump or dribble or nothing. Shooting baskets. Talking shit and shooting baskets.
Heard your mom's going out with Squeak.
Yeah. Yo, Tyler. Hey, your sister's going out with Squeak.
Oh, that's such a good
classic
fucking movie.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone, creators of South Park, still going strong.
So we're gonna rein it in.
We'll rein that in there. I just want to give. Well, there's a few things we'll finish on. So shout out to Moody. He's going to be in B team. He's made it to the Olympics of no-gi grappling. So. We're with you all the way, mate. We're pondering how many of us will be there with you in Vegas to be there in person.
I'm going to be there.
But you have all our support. We hope nothing but the best. Taylor Ford is out there doing the thing for 2024 at Paris.
Boom.
She is still doing the circuit in wrestling. She's in Japan. She's in the Stan country.
Is she still in Japan?
She's doing training. She was on the weekend.
Who the fuck is Taylor? She needs a website at this point.
Mate, she travels that much. Follow her on the socials. You find Taylor Ford. So she's got that. So she's still working towards it. So all the best for her. Hopefully she works her way to it. Myles M16 Simpson has retired officially from combat sports.
The greatest to ever do it in South Australia. The greatest to do it in
South Australia. We love you, mate. You'll make your way into the Hall of Fame. Rolling with you for the next few months. Grappling is going to be fun for all of us as you get back into it. And yeah, that's what's going on with all of us. We've got big fights coming up.
All right, so me and Tom are going to give you picks so you can make your multi right now.
Oh, here we go. All
right, you ready? So Leon Colby, who you got? Colby.
Yep.
Pantoja Royval.
Pantoja.
By
sub.
I wouldn't touch that fight.
Yeah, that would be leave it out of a multi. Maybe Pantoja by a later round sub.
I wouldn't touch that fight, but if I was gonna say, I'd say Pantoja because I know he's fucking hot right now.
Yep.
Shove cut Thompson. I'd go shove cut just straight win. I don't know if it's a 3-rounder. I don't know if he gets him out.
It will be a 3-rounder.
No. I don't know if he gets him out in the 3 round.
Right.
I don't know if he can do it, but he's. That's probably the lock of the night. Yeah. Maybe.
Unless Shovkat has a really off performance. All of a sudden he gets tagged from distance with Wonderboy and can't figure it out.
Here's where the money is.
Oh, money.
Tony and Paddy.
There's way more money in Tony. Paddy will be the favourite. So I think Tony.
Tony, man.
I'm going with you with Tony.
He's paying 4-1.
I hope with the Goggins effect. I hope with Paddy and... maybe Paddy's not dealing with all this too well and then they throw him a motivated, dedicated, Goggins-induced Tony Ferguson. El
Fucking-
Kakui comes back. A bit of gush.
Yeah.
Bit of that.
Cuts himself
nah.
on the walk.
Oh no! Don't
Like
talk
on the,
about. Don't
on
talk
the
about blowing out
walking
knees.
down to the octagon, he grabs a fucking glass and just fucking...
just cuts himself. Leads into battle. Don't worry about war paint, Paul Craig. That shit don't
Here's a
work.
good-
Cut yourself with a glass bottle.
Vincente
Luca, Ian Garry. I think Ian Garry by points. He outpoints
Yeah, I got you there.
by Luca. Yep.
Emmett Giga.
Emmett Giga.
I go Emmett. Emmett's paying 3 to fucking 1.
Emmett, if he goes wrestling, if he gets chopped into his body with those kicks and then maybe eats a head kick, it might not be good.
Emmett's paying $3.
Is he? Well, because he just come off the... Who did he get? He got beat up by Yair, right? And then that got the title shot for Yair, and then
good.
Yair's very good. Yeah, well, he's in the top 5.
Aldana and Carol Rosa.
Aldana's going to win
Aldana's
that.
a
Although
gangster.
Aldana had the stinker of a performance for Nunes' swan song fight. Remember, she just didn't come out and just didn't do anything.
And
So I would probably say Aldana would want to come out and prove something. Yep.
Garbrandt.
Garbrandt versus...
You're big on Garbrandt's dick.
I'm not big on Garbrandt's
big on Garbrandt's dick.
Because he's got Kelleher, right? So
Yeah.
Kelleher's got a nasty guillotine. Kelleher's striking is nothing to be admired.
This is made to get Cody back into the
made
UFC.
to get Cody, well, because he had his last fight and everyone thought he was going to beat the brakes off that guy. Took him to a decision, barely engaged, won on points by being smart. He could do that again. If he gets into a slugfest with Kelleher, it's going to be dangerous. And if he does something stupid and gets his neck caught, it's
He knows
stupid.
this is the last chance.
I think either Cody come out and maybe can do a first, second round KO, or he goes to points and he just does the same thing as he did last time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cody by decision
Yeah.
because I think he's gonna
Probably the lot more likely.
he's gonna realise that this is the last fight ever in the UFC if he loses. He was
if he loses to Kelleher, it's
he was
rough.
cut.
Yeah, close to.
No, he was.
Yeah. Well, he had so long off.
Didn't you know? No, didn't you know how this fight spawned?
No.
Do you remember the Dana White matchmaking for a day competition?
No, when did that happen?
Dana White did a competition where he let a fan randomly sit in the war room and matchmake.
Okay.
And they got this dude. And this dude knew every fucking person on the roster from number 1 to the contender series.
Yeah, to the 700
and he
or
knew
something.
all of their fights.
Yeah.
And he was like, pulled Dana aside, he's like, fuck all these fights. Let's do Garbrandt and Kelleher at UFC 296, but put it on the prelims. And Dana was like, you're hired for the UFC forever.
Wow, really? Just because he called that as a to call him out for it.
And he was, because Garbrandt wasn't in the UFC anymore.
Oh, okay.
He was out.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's bring Garbrandt back
Yeah.
for this fight. And Dana was like, I love it.
Oh.
And he gave him a fucking job as a matchmaker on the spot.
Well, good for that guy. But look, when you know, you know. I mean,
Hey,
how
apparently-
do you just pull that out of the bag? Just go, Garbrandt off the books.
You have
Bring him
one-
back on the
you have
books.
one
You get
fight.
one shot against Kelleher. Well, because he did. He had the snooze fest against the other bloke who he fought last time.
But, so, yeah, he fucking was sitting in the room and he's like, what about this fighter and this fighter and this fighter? And Dana was like, how do you know, like, every single fighter on my roster?
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking, like, 800 fighters now or some shit.
He's like the AI of fights.
But
Some
yeah,
people love him.
and that's the fight he decided to make.
Wow. So he got brought back for this. I didn't know that. Well, that's interesting. Well,
So this is the last shot.
I hope for Garbrandt he does well.
So do I like him.
Yeah.
Great boxer.
He just wicked boxer. Man, that come up when he
Dominic
did
Cruz.
Mizagaku against Cruz. Man, all that footwork is just, if he's going to do that game, you have to just engage a little more and put a little more damage on. That's all. You can play that game, but just engage and hurt him more. And then when you stick him, actually hurt him. Hurt him and do it properly. Don't just stick him and then fucking dance like you're out at the nightclub, like you're already celebrating. It's like, yeah, you can win by decision like that, mate, but that's not doing you any favours in terms of, again, you can think smart to play by it, but for what Garbrandt's already been through,
That's it.
do it while you can, mate.
Boom.
All right, we love you all.
Declan Moody, Myles Simpson, all you homeboys.
Yeah.
Good job. Love yous all.
Love yous.
Love you, Tom.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Us.
Us.